up?
Yeah, that's better.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Greetings and salutations, Roman. How are you?
Greetings and salutations, guys. I like that phrase. Greetings and salutations, everyone. We're on planet Earth.
I came on live just to have a really bad thunderstorm go overhead. Sending something your way, Roman.
Man, I don't want any more of those thunderstorms. Yesterday, when I was live, I was surprised my internet stayed on because we had like such a humid and bad weather. I thought we're gonna have a tornado yesterday because it was like dark all day. And today again it's dark and it's humid. Like I turned conditioner on and then I got like a little bit kind of, irritated by it, so I turned it off. But it's been humid, It's like, well, it's July. I mean, by the way, guys, happy upcoming 4th of July, everyone.
Go blow stuff up. Look, it's pouring down rain last night about 10, 11 o'clock, and there's people outside still setting off fireworks. So, just America loves to blow stuff up.
I know, man. Well, it's last week I went to with my wife and my son on Sunday last week, actually, a week ago. We went to the parade here. You were in my life actually, and
Yeah.
day day before they had fireworks, and there were some people near the firework place where their police station is at. They were firing their own fireworks. So the police was like circling around like crazy in the evening. Like there were a bunch of police cars coming over there, like where the people were shooting. But you can do it here in Cleveland. I mean, they don't. They still, if it's like I don't remember specific rule. If it's like some kind of firework that doesn't create some like hazards, I guess you can actually shoot it in Cleveland. I don't know. I did it with my friend a couple times from his house. I mean, nobody can. I mean, unless neighbors will be kind of saying stuff and calling police, then most likely police will tell you to stop it.
Police don't care around here. I live between two of the largest retailers for fireworks in Indianapolis. One is quite literally a 15-minute walk from me. The other one's 2 blocks down the road. So I hear it 2, 3 weeks coming up to July 4th, and I'll probably hear it like a month away too. So
Yeah, man. Paul, welcome to our to Paul. Welcome to Not My Life, man.
yeah, the Roman's not live. Yep.
Welcome to Big Bro's life, everyone. It's not my life, guys, so behave. The only life there where everyone can misbehave is probably my life. So
Mine.
how's sales? How's sales? Look, I sold your maps, man. Look at that. Remember
Did
the maps?
you finally
I
stole?
sold I sold them to one repeat buyer. Actually, I sold already all of them almost. The repeat buyers from like I guess China or like some other country. But he bought 15 of those, and then he came back in a couple of minutes and bought 25 more. So he got 15 for like $22 of those. I actually lotted them up. I don't remember specifically why I did those slots, but it's kind of it doesn't matter. I mean, still it's sold. And
What did you
20
pay for 'em?
the once couple of the lots I made the ones I got from you, from your auction one time, and another I got from like a garage sale somewhere. I got bunch of maps for like I think $5. I got the whole box of maps. There were like restaurant advertisements,
Hmm.
bunch of like vintage ephemera type of stuff. So a lot of some of it up, some I listed by itself. So basically, this buyer he actually bought some maps from me in a lot like a couple of weeks ago. So he got it, and then he came back. Apparently, he liked the first purchase, so he came back and bought two more slots in a row. So that was nice. I mean, $22 for those plus shipping, and $22 for another lot, I think, for 25. So I mean, that's what you need sometimes. You need repeat buyers, you know.
Yeah.
And
Did
he's
you
actually,
have you made money on everything? I know you bought a lot for me, but you bought a lot from other people too. So
yeah, man, actually not bad. I mean, those types of things when I go to estate sale, people just don't want to sell them for a lot of money. They like charge like $5 for like a whole box or $10. I mean, you can actually, it's basically, it's kind of has to be a lot of research, a lot of stuff that you can look up and compare and stuff like that. But I didn't mind it because the cost of goods was very low. So
yep.
like there is no point. Like see those maps, I don't remember if I got those from your auction or I got that at the state sale. I just already kind of sold all of them. So for me, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, specifically matter because I was not, invested too much. Yeah, that's an old man, but look at that. There are some actually cool ones here. That guy
This
actually,
this one sold for $20, a single one. So
see, that's where Paul lives. Paul Philip Flipper, guys. Florida, old vintage map. Paul, if you want that map, you can go to your local grocery store and probably find it. From
uh-oh.
19, I'm not gonna even unfold it. They're actually all. I mean, they're all in different types of conditions, but I actually, disclosed that some of them have like tears, some of them like have holes. So still, it's sold. Even with that damage. So guys, don't be afraid to buy maps. They're not fast sellers, but still, if you lot them up, they're gonna sell anyway because people collect them. Especially, I'm surprised it was through global shipping. And you know how they say to turn off global shipping because it kind of um, doesn't work properly or whatever it is. I didn't turn it off. I still get sales with global shipping all the time. So I mean, I don't mind it. It's like
Yeah, they
that.
they really screwed me on the global shipping when they switched things over. They told me to leave everything alone. I did that, and then I wound up paying like $60 for the international shipping. I called them up, said, "Hey, why am I being charged? You guys are supposed to pay, not me." And they said, "Well, your stuff is set up wrong." I said, "I did exactly what you told me to do, and that was nothing, that you guys would take care of it." And they said, "Well, you have it set up wrong, so it's your fault." And I was like, "Well,
Man,
fuck
it's
you, eBay. I quit again." I got tired of it.
well,
So,
well, you see how it is, big bro, with eBay. I mean, they know perfectly that they can care less if
yep.
someone quits or if someone doesn't quit. They don't give a what about it. So like they can control those types of regulations and do basically whatever they want. It's still, uh, I mean, still the sellers, there are gonna be sellers still using that platform because for like most part, you don't have much of a choice in a way, in a way.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right. Well,
I talked to some people here in Cleveland who actually have been reselling for a while. They don't have any channels or anything. They basically tell me some of their stuff that they buy, they will rent a space at flea markets, like we have everyday flea markets here, and they will just rent a booth and they will sell it there. Some of their stuff, um, some they will put on eBay. It's still kind of bringing some income to them because they don't specifically completely rely on being on eBay with everything. So, but some people do. I mean, most resellers who try to, mostly sell on eBay, they will be still using that platform, and you know,
my lights are flickering, so if it goes out or if I slow down, you know why.
yeah, man, I understand. That's no problem. I will get.
I was without electricity for 20 hours. 20. You know what it's like trying to find shit to do for 20 hours when you have no electricity?
Man, I don't even know how people right now can survive for so many hours without.
20 hours.
You know, my son, when we have like, when my son loses internet, this is like end of the world. It's like becoming like, something out of sci-fi movie. How could you lose internet nowadays?
Yeah,
Or,
the
you know,
internet runs on electricity, except for the phone. I still had the phone, but
Paul, you go ahead and do that. It's very important, Paul. You need to go do being full-time YouTuber like me.
I
It's very,
aspire to be as popular as Roman is
yeah,
and as
exactly.
knowledgeable. He knows a lot of stuff.
Especially about YouTube. So, what did you sell this week? Amanda, welcome.
I sold a lot of things. I had a lot of things coming off auction. So everybody paid for their stuff except for one. And I really don't expect for that person to pay because they got zero feedback in Mexico and they just created their account yesterday.
Oh man, that's probably, yeah. You never
That's
know.
that's gonna be a non-pay, but the next person in line can buy the stuff if they want.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. Also, that's what happens with eBay.
Yeah,
As you know, this is eBay adventures. Every day, there are certain adventures that eBay provides. I actually messed up this week. I sold. It's like very proprietary type of thing. I actually bought it at the bins. It's like some kind of a splitter for like electricity. And I actually put it somewhere in my inventory where I actually had SQ where I was supposed to have it. And then I started looking for it and I could not find it at all. I looked for like, it sold for like $30. And I was kind of thinking about either canceling it with a buyer. And then I decided I'll just drop ship it. So I bought it from another eBayer and
yeah,
I drop shipped it to the buyer because I mean I kind of it's very rare that it happened in terms of me not finding
right,
something. So
yeah,
it was kind of I was kind of thinking about it. I mean I could have told him I'm really sorry I cannot find it, and then there is a risk of him leaving negative, But I actually I kind of didn't lose money because I actually found it on eBay, uh, almost like say I remember it was like $15 cheaper than I sold it for. So I actually not gonna be making money, but I'm not gonna be losing. So I decided to drop ship it, and so the buyer at least will be happy. I mean, sometimes it happens, guys.
I think I lose one thing maybe a year, maybe. I think I've lost two things in the last 4 years. So it's once every couple of years I can't find something. Even with the inventory system that I have set up, I always wind up losing something. I'll move something around and I don't mark it, and you know,
Yeah, I usually mark everything and I know like where I usually have it all the time. It's just I actually the funny thing about it is that I recently bought it. It wasn't something that I bought like a couple months ago. It was maybe like a month ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago. And I actually kind of was thinking, sometimes I get tired when I list during the evening, and I may have put it in a different place compared to where I put it on my SQ because my brain already wasn't properly working. So I may have put it somewhere else. I'm gonna find it eventually and release it. But I decided, instead of spending so much time looking for it, this time I decided to drop ship it, because there is no point. I mean, I would have spent like probably a couple days and not gonna find it.
see, I made $63 on Saturday. Not bad.
Not
That's not
bad.
including fees, but so what, 50 bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I sold. Let's see how many I saw. I actually had decent day on Friday, and yesterday not bad. Also, actually, let's see. Yesterday, I don't remember how many specifically. Maybe I had like 7 sales yesterday, and today I already have 4. And I did sell another tool again. See, that's the thing with tools. I've been selling tools lately because I usually, with tools, it's actually a good market if you can find good brand tools, vintage ones sometimes, good quality, not the ones made in China.
Yeah.
Um, I sold a ratchet on Friday, which was made in United States, heavy duty ratchet, like a big one, like I think 19 inches long.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a big one. Yeah.
yeah, and it sold for $79, but I knew that it will sell for that because I sold similar one like couple months ago. I also got it. Either I don't remember. It was a state, probably yes, a state sale. But the other ones that I sold here on Friday, I got at a garage sale, and I paid $15 for it, and I knew it's gonna sell for around $80 because I already sold one like this before. So it wasn't, I mean, point because I actually got different vintage tools from the lady at garage sale. I paid like $20, and that particular ratchet was 15. And I got some Craftsman pin punches and some other tools for $5 that were made in the United States. So I mean, that's a really good deal. I mean, for $20, bunch of vintage tools and tools. I mean, I like to buy. And I went
Hmm.
to garage sale last week. The guy had a multimeter, which I actually shown on my live yesterday. The brand was Fluke.
That's
Fluke.
all.
Yeah, that's a good brand, and I know that brand
Fluke.
because
Yeah, they're
yeah,
called fluke meters.
yeah, they're really good quality because
Yeah,
I use one here at home.
they're
Because-
expensive. That's what they
and
are.
and I actually, it was surprising that I found it at garage sale. I haven't seen them at garage sales in a while, and I the guy originally wanted $20 for it, and I checked it. I opened the box and looked at it basically was complete. The only problem I didn't actually think about is the battery. I kind of thought maybe he replaced the battery inside because usually, like, I kind of don't ask, I mean, don't think about it at the time for some reason. All the time, when I find something that needs, I mean, has batteries, I don't check the compartments most of the time. It's kind of my
Yeah, neither do I.
constant mistake that I usually make. And
Yeah,
I actually got it home and I started to I tried I mean at the garage sale, which is another funny thing. I opened the box, I didn't turn it on even. I didn't even turn the switch to see if it turns on. And at home, I tried it. It didn't start. I mean, work. So I realized the battery probably is dead. So I had to unscrew it from like the back cover, and I opened it, and the battery was rusted. So battery actually leaked a little bit, but the good thing actually was Fluke quality. The good thing, the battery connectors were still intact. So I cleaned them out and put new battery in, and it worked like a charm.
I spent some time being a mechanic in my younger days, and that's what the entire shop would use is the Fluke brand, and they wouldn't use anything else. So yeah, I know
Yeah,
the
Fluke.
quality. I won't buy tools. I don't. I'm not that tool guy. I don't know enough. I mean, I've sold some, sure, but you're gonna have to ship them flat rate. If you can find something small, sure, but those things are heavy. So you got from this small flat rate box to this big
Yeah.
freaking medium flat rate. So
And ratchet, the ones that I got, that ratchet that I sold, it was 4 pounds in weight
yeah,
in a box. So the good thing, someone from I don't remember. I think somewhere in Connecticut or like the state close to me bought it, and I only paid $7.20 for shipping in the USPS priority box. So not bad. Still, because I actually my shipping was actually higher. I actually my shipping was 12.99. So I
Oh,
still
you're cheap. I charge more than that.
for that particular one, since I knew around probably, I kind of already, since I've been doing it for so long, I calculated in terms of, I mean, counting shipping material and stuff like that. If I don't use box that I bought, I can use priority mail box, which I get for free from USPS. So the box basically already eliminated from the cost of the shipping. I mean, the only thing basically is the shipping material, and that's it. And basically, you kind of, in a way, you're saving on the box because you're using, I mean, their box.
Yep.
So, you know.
Yeah, I usually cut down their boxes, not the flat weight ones, but
Yeah, me too. Frankenstein. I usually, if something is like long in length, I have one of those shoe boxes from USPS, 14
yep.
by 7 by 5, and I just Franken box them together. They become bigger.
Yep.
So that's what happens, guys.
Woo.
So yeah, yesterday was not bad, and I mean, I actually was surprised that during holiday weekend
Hello. There he goes. Hello.
I was saying, we're back, guys. You there, big
Yeah,
bro?
I'm there. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah, the internet, guys. Sorry about the internet, guys. My internet is even worse most of the time.
Phew. Mine's a little weird too, especially with the storms coming through. So,
Yeah, I know, man. That's gonna be the kind of a thing this week. I mean, this weekend and the upcoming days. It's gonna be thunderstorms constantly in the area coming
chance of
up.
rain every day this week for the next 2 weeks.
I know that in Cleveland, actually, it's a normal type of situation. We get like, especially like if in June, in the month of June is only time when there is some sunshine. Then there is constant rains until August, and then
Yep.
the winter, and then the winter starts again, and that's it. So that's what happens in Ohio. Not everywhere in Ohio, but in Cleveland mostly. I mean, Columbus and Cincinnati are different. They're a little bit warmer compared to Cleveland.
Yeah, but you're talking about a distance too.
Yeah, 2 hours to Columbus and an hour and a half to Cincinnati. So, like from Cleveland, it's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours to Cincinnati. So yeah, like it's kind of in terms of distance and from the lake, because of the snow and cold that we get is from the lake. I mean,
Yep.
if we were down where Columbus is, we would not have that much snow, So
We get lake effect too. Not a whole lot, but we can feel it down here. So
yeah,
in Indianapolis, I'm glad I don't live in Gary for several reasons, but lake effect is one of them. So
yeah. Actually, it was surprising something that happened. Someone bought something from Gary, Indiana, from me. They bought some kind of. Let me see what it was. I think it was some kind of. I actually shipped. I actually packed it today. It was a game for Nintendo Switch.
oh,
Somebody from Gary, Indiana, bought a game for Nintendo Switch for 12.99.
that's something I won't sell or games.
I mean, Gary is like one of the. I actually drove when I went to Chicago a couple times. When you drive to Chicago and use Interstate 90 west, you will go through Gary on the way to Chicago. So, like, right away, you can see Gary. buildings on the freeway when you drive by, because it used to be actually a rich city
Yeah.
way back.
Before I was born, yeah.
Yeah, they had some steel industry there and the stuff.
Yep. Yeah, what Roman said. The only thing I remember about Gary, Indiana is the uh
Stuff like that. Here,
mhm.
did we lose internet again? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. I was thinking we lost internet.
You're there.
Yeah,
Kinda.
kind of there again. And yeah, Gary, actually, I researched it. I wanted to find out why it was called Gary, and I found out that it was for the name of the top, whoever was actually the first person who built those steel places. His name was Gary something. I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a golden rule. He who has the gold makes all the rules. He owned all the steel plants, so yep.
Yeah, and then there was a video on YouTube recently that I watched. One of the guys, it was from Travel Channel. He travels around the United States. Very good channel. But he actually he visited Gary, and he was driving through Gary, Indiana, like streets. Man, the houses there are completely. Some of them are completely destroyed entirely. Buildings are destroyed.
Yeah, people complain about Detroit being bad. They apparently haven't driven through Gary.
Yeah, but
I've been through there. My father used to have a law office there, and he got his car broken into like once a week, and he was in one of the finer sides of Gary, if you think that thing exists. So
yeah, I don't think it actually. In my opinion, the crime rate that's currently in Gary itself, the guy actually mentioned it in the video, is crazy. And the surprising part, the building, I think the historical buildings that originally was built there, they're still there intact. Some of the churches, even though they don't have any windows, but the actual building is still there, standing from like 1800s, I guess. I'm not sure, but I mean, people there. I mean, if you go, I mean, if you go to Chicago and you go through Gary, it's not that far from Chicago. I think Gary is like maybe 40 minutes from Chicago, maybe a little bit more. I don't
not
remember.
even. Well, it depends if you're on Range Line Road heading into Chicago at 4 o'clock. You're going to be there for about 3 hours on the road,
I
and you'll
know,
drive about a block.
I know, man. It's like crazy. One time I drove to Chicago by GPS. I don't remember how I ended up, but I ended up in such a bad neighborhood when I got into Chicago. I was driving through, I think, red lights to get out of it because it looked like it was like a war zone. I don't know why, but it was so bad. It's
Yeah.
like,
When I was 19 and 20, I lived in Calumet City, which is like a Midwestern Compton. Yeah, that's the best
oh
way to
man,
put it. But I wasn't a great kid back then, and I was up to no good. But you know, that's the only other time I've lived not here in Indianapolis was when I lived there for a couple of years. So
man, that's actually, yeah. The thing about it is like sometimes people always kind of mention, uh, like what's there to do in Ohio, what's there to do in Indiana. I'm like, I don't know.
stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with those two states. I mean, it's kind of an interesting question. There's not much to do in Ohio. There is not much to do in Indiana.
Yeah. Well,
It,
I kind of like having not much to do, honestly. So
it was fun when I used to actually. I went to Indianapolis many times during early 2000s, like late 90s, 99, 2000, 2001. And when we used to do computer trade shows, Indianapolis was one of the places where we would have went for computer trade shows inside of those convention centers and stuff in Indianapolis. And I remember it. It was like really fun stuff because I mean we would go on leave on Thursday You got some lights flickering. Well, you're still there, big bro. You're still there. You didn't lose internet yet. But yeah, Indianapolis, I remember. Indianapolis always I would when I would have went to Indianapolis, I would always remember back in the day how people were loyal to Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. Like Colts were like all the people would wear something with Colts. Like it was
I
big,
still do. Yeah.
like big following. It was a great team with Peyton Manning all the time. I remember. I mean, they had like really great teams and
Well,
Reggie
he's a
Wayne.
football god. So
Yeah, I mean, it's great teams, mid '90s, early 2000s. I remember. I mean, they with Peyton,
mhm.
they were on the map. Indianapolis was on the map.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean that's like those, especially when I actually go to Columbus sometimes. Columbus is close to Indianapolis. It's like about probably an hour drive. So sometimes I was like I would go to Columbus and think about going to Indianapolis just to travel there.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to Ohio in forever. The closest I've been to Ohio is Richmond, which is right there on the border. But
Yeah,
I
Ohio.
go out. I've been out there a couple times for auctions. Duh. So
Ohio has like apart from Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, it's like if you go to any other city, there's nothing there at all. I mean, Dayton sometimes. I went to Dayton many times in the past. Dayton was like I went there for computer trade shows almost every month, twice a month. I would be in Dayton, Ohio, and Dayton back in the day. It is a small city, but it was at least it had something to do there. But I mean now I don't know. It's like completely different. Dayton is close to Indianapolis also actually.
do you still do the computer thing?
Um, if someone actually has like if they need desktop repair, I usually like more than laptop repair because laptops I usually tell customers that I need to basically if I need to basically replace any part, I need to unglue everything, break like certain things. It's really difficult now because they glue everything. So I usually only work with desktop computers because I can open them up. I
Yeah.
can take out parts easily. I can replace, upgrade, and laptops, especially MacBooks. MacBooks, it's horrible. I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to deal with that crap. I mean,
There's
they glue it. I mean, like they do with their iPhones, tablets, everything. iPads, like they glue so bad. You have to use special tools. You have to warm it up. You have to put heat gun on this stuff and then take out the screen. I mean, it's like it's difficult to do. I mean, unless the person pays up, I just don't want to deal with that. It's just horrible. I do hard drives instead. Hard drives are more of my stuff that I do data recovery. I would do if person needs a hard drive recovery, like if they need their data recovered, I will do it because I have equipment, I have parts, and I have other things for it.
got
Computer
the
upgrade,
programs.
yeah, software equipment that I bought many years ago that I use for different models of hard drives, and nowadays it's much more complicated because everything is encrypted. They already encrypt everything, so it's difficult to get into anything. So that's one of the parts. But yeah, actually last this week I went again to the beans and I found decent things actually, even though uh, there were like this week they didn't do any restock during the day, so we had to basically find stuff whatever was in the bins that day, which we could have gotten for good. I mean, $14 each, as you know. I mean, I did find good things, not bad. Some shoes, some electronics, some beauty stuff, beauty, whatever they are, beauty products. So not bad.
Got Nady Pies coming up on the 15th, and we're going to go to an auction, one of the auctions I go to all the time he wants to buy all the junk. And I said, yeah, there's plenty of junk there. And then
Yeah,
2 weeks after that, the two of us are going to drive up to Wisconsin and see Backroad Bitter Chuck and Marcy and Amber and Mike from Treasure Scavengers.
yeah. I actually, they were all in my life. They were, most of them were in my life yesterday. Mike and Amber and Greg actually was in my life from Mile High, and Chuck and
Yeah,
Marcy.
that's all. So,
Yeah, it was like yesterday was a shout out day.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
I
thanks for
just,
that shout out, by the way.
no problem, man. I just decided every time it's gonna be one of the trends that I decided to do now in my life. It's gonna be kind of fun experience, you know. You go every certain like every week because you cannot shout out all channels. So I mean, you don't remember all of them off the head. I decided like I will actually save the links in my text file instead of searching. I will just put it in. It's gonna it's gonna make it fun experience, you know, because yesterday it was funny because I decided to give shout outs to smaller channels than give big channels. You know, that's kind of interesting sometimes, you know, because like it actually kind of it creates like kind of a good atmosphere kind of thing, you know.
Oh, well. Hmm, mm, mm.
Yeah, so it was fun. I mean, we had some fun time yesterday talking about as you know in my lives. Usually, I go from. I usually never talk about any reselling.
This is a day off from reselling for me. I don't Sundays. I don't do anything.
Yeah, I decided actually to package some stuff because tomorrow
Yeah,
post office is still open.
yeah.
Tuesdays are gonna be closed, so I decided I'll pack some stuff today since I had orders, which is good, which is surprising for me. But I mean, the thing is actually yesterday I listed some golf clubs which actually I usually don't like to list, but I listed one set of golf clubs and then listed a burner and a driver and pitching wedge or sandwich. Sandwich, actually. I actually, you know, I'm not that experienced with you know different types of brands yet of
Oh,
golf clubs. Some of them I find like the ones I found Nike ones. Nike ones I know that are not bad, and I got them really cheap. That's why I got them for $2 each. I mean, there's no brainer there. But Christopher, welcome. Yeah, Christopher was in my life helping me out yesterday with shoutouts.
you said the Bulls were the one of the most prolific teams in the '80s, and that's not true. In the
Uh,
'90s, they most certainly were. In the '80s, it was the Celtics and the Lakers.
Lakers, yeah, Lakers back in the day, and I was talking about loyal players
In
yesterday,
the
which
in the
doesn't happen.
'90s, it was the Bulls, the Bulls, the Bulls, the Bulls, the Bulls, and the Knicks occasionally. So
And Knicks, I remember that team actually. Indiana Pacers, I remember with Reggie
yeah,
Miller. I mean, that Indiana Pacers team, I felt so bad because they had so much talent with different Derek McKee, Reggie Miller, Davis brothers or Davis players, Antoine Davis and Dale Davis, and then they had Mark Jackson. So they had really good teams in Indiana. And Reggie, of course, is a Hall of Famer.
yeah.
But I mean, you gotta give him props, man. He retired as Indiana Pacer. He
There's
didn't.
there's a famous photograph of Reggie Miller putting a 3 point down when he says something to Spike Lee, who's there
Yeah, it was the Knicks. I
egging him
remember.
on, and he says, "I bet you can't do another," and he puts up a three because he's missed a 3 point anyway. And there's
I
a famous
remember.
photograph, and that's on everybody's refrigerator, even mine. So you know,
I even watched that game, big bro. I remember that game. I
yeah,
remember how crazy this game was with the Knicks. I remember this
it was a good
rivalry,
series. It really was.
the rivalry between Knicks and Pacers back in the day. It was crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, that was something to see. You're not gonna see that kind of stuff anymore. I mean, people say it, but it doesn't happen. I mean, I remember Bulls. It's completely different type of stuff. Bulls had great teams. Michael Jordan, Pippen, Dennis
Rodman.
Rodman, Bill Cartwright,
Yep.
Luke Longley, Tony Kukoc. So
Good coach,
they
yep.
had, yeah, and the point guards, John Paxson. I remember the 3-point shots that he made in the 90 first three-peats that they had in the early 90s. I think 93. That when John Paxson made it. And B.J. Armstrong and all those players that played for the Bulls, all the legendary. Ron Harper. That's like one of those teams that you don't forget. It's like,
Yeah.
and those three teams I remember from the 90s is in my memory because I remember them like Bulls, Pacers, Knicks. Sometimes I think with Shaq, I think Orlando Magic originally, but they weren't that great yet, or not good at all later on. Mike and Amber, welcome guys to Big Bro Live.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone, and showing support.
Amber's up visiting Chuck and out visiting one of the other people that don't have a YouTube channel. Can't think of his name.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, everyone is traveling today.
Nobody, nobody beats Larry Bird.
Yeah, Larry, actually, I saw the poster, Christopher, of Larry Bird that I actually got at like a clean out for free. I found a Larry Bird poster from like ESPN from 1986, and I sold it for like $50 plus shipping. And the guy got it and left me positive feedback. Said it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that's great. I mean I actually to take a picture of that poster. It was a big poster. I had to put it on my wall and put like those pins so it's being held to the wall. And I took a photo that way because I couldn't when I was unfolding it, it would fold back in. So I had to spread it out and make a photo. But it's sold.
There we go. Robert's right along. There we go. Yep.
Or yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I have to. I'm not sure if I'm subbed. I'll have to check it out. So
I'm sub to everybody at some point.
yeah, and sometimes I will like go. Most of the time, like I would check out like certain channels that I know I'm sub to, and then sometimes I'll see some channels that probably I'm not. I double check, and I'm subbed after that. So you know,
There's a lot of us out there that'll watch us that don't have YouTube channels. I sub to them anyway. Who knows if they ever start one off, then they'll start off with some. So
yeah, me too. That's the way I do it. I don't like it's for me. It's like nothing. It's not a big deal, to be subbed or like something that I don't even think about it that much.
I generally don't watch the clothing. Like well, I'm not gonna say names. I'm just gonna say, there's a lot of the clothing people out there. I watch one or two, I do, but yeah, that's about it. I'm never gonna sell that stuff. I have no interest in that stuff. But every once in a while, you can pick up good tips on shipping or the latest trends and stuff like that. So I won't disregard them, but I might skip around.
Yeah, I got you, man. It's not. I mean, for me also, like I'm
Always
sub
give
to a
the
lot.
thumbs up, So
Yeah, I'm sub to a lot of clothing sellers, specifically who mostly sell clothing. And I do sell clothing. Not as much. It's not one of my favorite things. But mostly, if I find jerseys, any type of sports jerseys, I will list, or something that has to do with vintage university teams, like any college teams, Ohio State,
hmm
or like what I'm talking about. Any type of vintage sweatshirts, t-shirts, I may actually list those types of things because I know they have following and people like them. Regular type of clothing, unless it's something that I can find really cheap in terms of brands, unless it's some kind of brand that is high sought after, highly sought after. I mean, I will list it. It's I don't mind it that much, even though I don't like it, but I still list it.
I wouldn't know what's highly sought after because maybe that's some of the information I miss. Unless a college player tragically dies that's on his way to pro, then everybody knows about it. But
Also, hats are my favorite hats.
I
If
can't.
I find hats, not like of course, mark. I mean, eBay is saturated with different hats. That's kind of understandable. But if you, I mean, I rarely find something from like Logo 7, Sports Specialties, or other like New Arab vintage ones. I mean, those types of sports team hats with like different patterns. Those rarely find anywhere. Like even at garage sales locally, I cannot find those types of hats. But like vintage tracker hats, I mean, I have a bunch listed right now, and they sometimes sell. But the problem is, some of them I find they're not in the best condition. I don't want to spend time unless it's something really expensive hat to even wash it or make it look nice. I'll
Mm.
just list it as it is. And if it's missing the like one of those foam things on the inside, that I will disclose it. It's missing the foam. I mean, that's most of that foam disintegrates. Vintage Wrangler brush pump dress shirts. Yeah, Wrangler. I actually listed Wrangler jeans. I think I listed before Wrangler vintage ones do sell good.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll sell them as long as they still got the tags. I've seen. Let's see. I think they were Wrangler jeans. They were screen print. Still had the tags from the '70s, and they sold at auction for $1,500. And I talked to the lady afterwards, and she said that she has a client in New York, and she sold those for $3,500. I was like, "What the hell?" So
Yeah, some of that stuff, big bro, actually surprised me sometimes too. But I know that even Levi's, vintage Levi's with orange tags on the back, those are actually sell fast for good money.
mhm.
Some go for $200. I know that. There is a following for those Levi's, and other jean brands also. If you find the thing is, jeans at garage sales locally, most of the time they're around maybe $1 to $2. I mean, you're still not gonna be, kind of, unless it's some kind of unusual brand. You'll still most of the time I would probably buy it if it's Levi's for $1. If it's like maybe Wrangler, maybe a Jenko, if I ever find one. Jenko, I couldn't find anywhere so far. I mean, um, and there are a bunch of brands. There is like a YouTuber, Amber Resells. She actually has good knowledge on brands of jeans, boots, shoes, good brands that have good sell-through rates, and the vintage ones. So actually, at the time, I didn't know that much how to specifically tell apart vintage jeans from like new jeans or modern. So I kind of learned some of the stuff from her channel even. So it's not something that I would go buy without probably thinking about buying to sell. It still probably would. Um, there is money in it. Shoes also. I mean,
Yeah,
depends.
certain belt buckles. The last clothing item I sold was a Hermes. We call it Hermes. It's actually Hermes, but it's a French ritzy crap.
Yeah,
And you
Hermes.
go
Yeah,
look it up. Yeah, I sold that thing for like $350 for a single belt buckle, but it was still brand new in the box. And yeah,
yeah.
so
Belt buckles
it
are.
wasn't rusty or nothing. It was in perfect condition, and I picked it up for $10. So yeah,
Belt buckles, actually, I have bunch of that I purchased in the past. Some of them I sold, some are still are long tail. I kind of know that some of them will be like Bergamot brand or Bergamont. I remember vintage belt buckles was from Bergamot that are made in the United States from like I think this is like a pewter, yeah, pewter, or some of them are brass, some pewter. So they actually are kind of very um, good structure belt buckles, like they're good quality. Some people buy them faster. Some of them, I mean, they've been laying in my inventory for a couple years
Yep.
that I haven't sold. But I knew that. I mean, I didn't pay much. I mean, I would buy a lot, complete lot of them for like cheap, like maybe dollar each at the time. So I mean, not much invested, but they were not really, one of those. Um, some of the better ones, of course, they will sell faster. Some like with like specific cigarette brands or like some kind of like John Deere belt buckle sometimes will sell
Yeah.
fast. I mean, that's understandable. But I mean, I don't mind to have them. They don't take much space, so they
The
go.
the ones with snakes, the ones that are made out of snake heads, those sell really fast for me too. If you ever
Yeah,
see those, so
I don't think I ran into snake ones. I have still. I think I have maybe over 30, close to 40 belt buckles that I still
woo,
haven't sold. But I got them throughout the years, and I mean, sometimes they will sell faster. Depends, like I said, on what's on it, on the belt buckle. It depends on the subject. So, like,
throw them up to auction, a buck each, put them out there for 7 days.
yeah, most likely I will eventually will do that anyway because
Auctions still work on eBay.
oh, I know they do work. I just sometimes in my uh, in my head sometimes I'm kind of contemplating on doing this kind of stuff with certain products, and then I do it sometimes, and then I again don't do it, and then I do it again. So it's like for me it has to be some kind of process where I kind of got into doing it, and then I don't do it and do it again. It
Hmm.
depends.
Yeah.
Like I sometimes, like last weekend, I went to garage sale where I actually found a lot of good stuff for really cheap, which is rare nowadays.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I bought, like, the lady had, even though I never buy it anymore, the lady had like a huge bag of old school, like not old school, they were little people figures from Mattel, little, I mean, from Fisher Price. So the whole bag was like $1.50. So like I was kind of thinking about it, if they were like Easter type of little people from Easter scenes, Christmas, nativity. So there is money in them. I know they sell because I sold them before. So I lotted them up.
There he goes again.
Yeah, internet is out. And it's back. Internet is back. I thought my internet went out. Yeah, so that was like one of, like, today, for example, I sold Amiibo brand. Like I got it at the Beans. There was some kind of limited edition Amiibo Nintendo figurines. It's like a 3 pack, and I listed it for $50, and it sold today for $50 plus shipping. Even though I was thinking maybe it's gonna take some time to sell, but it sold within a week. So
I, ju-
that's
I don't watch TV. I'm not that guy. I don't watch TV at all. But I've been spending a lot of time with my mom because she's been without power and she's elderly, and so I noticed there's a lot of stuff pushing Christmas in July. So I'm sitting here thinking maybe I should just go ahead and put all my Christmas stuff up now.
yeah, Halloween stuff. Halloween stuff right now actually is gonna
Thanksgiving
be
stuff. Yeah.
next month already, in August, even late July. You can already start listing that Halloween stuff still sells during the year.
Yeah,
Some of the stuff that I actually have from that I kept from last year that I didn't list yet were some Halloween costumes that I bought for like $5 each, and I had them. I didn't list them, so I will list them in July right now, end of July, and
you
probably
doing Journey?
probably they're gonna sell most likely soon.
Yeah, I sell Halloween stuff year round. I don't hesitate to put it up, and the same goes with Thanksgiving because it's not common. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's not common like Christmas. So
Yeah, figurines like um, costumes for Halloween, any decorations right now in terms of if you have any that you haven't listed. It's a good time right now. Eventually, I mean it's always good time, but for before Halloween especially. I mean, and I do like that's one of my favorite. If I had a chance to find Halloween products constantly. Like in my, it would be one of my favorite categories to actually source. Halloween horror stuff. That's kind
yep.
of my kind of love of either collecting or selling. And I always kind of whenever I would find something cool that's for Halloween, either it has to be like some kind of interesting figurine, some kind of pumpkin, that lights up, vintage ones, some blow molds. I mean, I usually sometimes thinking about should I list it or should I keep it on my at my house, you know? You know.
Yeah, that horror, that Halloween stuff, that translates over into the games. Like the lead figures you sold me and stuff like that. I've got hundreds of them. I should sell them, but I can't bring myself to do it because it's a passion of mine. So
Yeah, mine too. I like. I even have recently. I've been actually had bunch of vintage Betamax horror tapes, which I listed.
wow,
I actually got it for free, thanks to my friend who actually does house clean outs. He didn't charge me anything. He
wow,
said just clean it out, take it with you, that's it. And there were some really good titles. There were everything, basically, some vintage, I mean, not vintage, some titles that I have never heard before myself in horror, but that's normal because some of those horror movies were like limited release or they were like very kind of not known in a way, you know. So still, I kept some. I kept Halloween that I'm probably thinking about maybe grading, and I kept Freddy Krueger's original Nightmare on Elm Street that I'm probably gonna think about maybe also grading it maybe and keeping it because when I was growing up,
it does.
those two movies when I was young and I was 7 years old, those two movies were scared would scare the crap out of me. Man. I would like be scared of them.
Wow,
It's
that's
not. I
I
mean,
can't I can't remember the first horror. Yeah, well, the first. I can't remember the first horror movie that I saw on screen. I was never really much of a horror guy. I was always into the black and white science fiction stuff when I was growing up. So, like my favorite science fiction movie is War of the Worlds, the original one,
original was good. Yeah.
not that Tom Cruise thing. So, you know,
Yeah, the thing about it is actually I watched recently. It was interesting video. I watched Kevin Commonwealth's Flipper channel. You know Kevin Commonwealth.
yeah,
He had a video that he put out a couple days ago about VHS tapes and VHS tapes that have sold on auctions that were graded. And I actually knew that Star Wars, certain Star Wars, not all, certain Star Wars tapes, original Star Wars from CBS. with a CBS release, I guess, which are sealed in a wrap and new sealed, all stock. Those actually, if you find, yes, you can try to look it up and see if it's worth grading and trying to sell for like whatever money they've been selling for, around 40 grand, 37 grand. I mean, that's actually um, truthful because I actually researched some of the tapes with like original Ghostbusters, original
Yeah.
horror movies like Halloween. But if you find them sealed and you want to try to kind of research to see maybe those will bring much better value when they're graded, there is a point to grade them because it's not going to cost you a lot to grade them. I think
Uh,
it's
Phew. Yeah, who do you send them in to grade them to and stuff like? Because I've already looked into grading all my comics and stuff, and I've already learned that there's only some that I'm gonna send in. So
for comic books. I think Beckett.
yeah, I
uh,
know who. No, I'm not sending them to Beckett. Nope.
I know
So
for VHS, I know about IGS. IGS, I think I don't I never send it to IGS to be graded, but IGS grades on level of the box separately and the seal. So they grade the seal and then they grade the box. How in the conditions they give it a certain number from like 1 to 10, and Beckett also I think the same way. They grade based. I mean the tapes, not the comic books. I'm not familiar with comic books, so I would not say anything. But with tapes, I know Beckett does the same thing with tapes as IGS. They grade the box and they grade seal.
yeah,
So
I've got the original three Star Wars sitting at home. We bought them as soon as they released them when VHS was still very much a thing. Matter of fact, I still have VHS player that I use. So
I
I don't know anything. It's just Star Wars to me. It's not that big a deal, but I understand it's a worldwide phenomenon. But to me, it was like, yeah. So
also to tell you the truth, I actually, like I said, the thing about it, which is very tricky with those VHS tapes that are sealed or not even sealed. Some of them were different in terms of the box. Like some were released in the big quantities, some were limited releases, like limited release in terms of certain, I guess, like specifics on the box that have to be certain, like some kind of rare that you have to learn about and know about. But like I said, it's a field where, in terms of garage sales, you're gonna find bunch of VHS tapes for like 25 cents. I
yeah,
mean, that's like nothing. So that's why people nowadays, even with DVDs, I said it on my live yesterday. You go to garage sale nowadays, you ask for DVD movies, and they're always sold. Like people, for some reason, will buy the whole box of DVDs from garage sale or Blu-rays, and that's basically one of the things that kind of started to happen along with video games, along with vinyls. I mean, it's like people ask for those types of things. Media is something that people ask for
yep.
constantly, and video games is also there, up there in that kind of level. It's just I know about it, and every time when I go to garage sale, I don't see any DVD movies. I probably think that already someone bought it.
I I'll go up to a yard sale occasionally, and I'll ask them about the VHS tape because I've known about the horror thing for a long time, like the Hammer horror films, the old Z-rated movies that everybody wants. But people go, "Oh no, we threw those away," and I'm sitting there going, "Oh,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, people don't right now. People not realizing. I mean, they would have realized that if they knew about, like, if they knew about it 20 years ago.
I've dug stuff out of the trash before." They said, "It's right there if you want it." You know.
Man, I can tell you one thing. I got like there is a like a place we have here in Cleveland. They actually similar to Goodwill or like Savers, whatever. They actually, in terms of what they do, they actually get donations from people with media, vinyls, cassettes, 8 tracks,
My
uh,
goodness.
board games, Funko Pops, all types of stuff. So they basically actually pay people. It's not like Goodwill where you donate it for free. They actually look what people bring them, and they basically give people certain price on the stuff they brought.
Hmm.
So they put it in their store, and if something doesn't sell for a certain amount of time, they just throw it in a dumpster.
Yep.
Like I actually went a couple times. Man, they had like books being thrown out, bunch of books. You could have gotten the whole like I guess huge box of books out of the dumpster. You know?
That's ridiculous. What I noticed, one thing that I used to sell a lot of that's not selling anymore in the media is the 4-track tapes, which are the really long old stuff from the 50s and 60s that you put on the big reel to reels.
Oh, real, yeah,
Yeah, those are 4 tracks, not 8 tracks. So
yeah.
yeah,
Those,
those have pretty much stopped unless you've got the horror films and stuff, But you used to be able to sell anything with a 4 track. So
also laser discs.
yeah,
Laser discs are also tricky. It depends.
I've never seen a laser disc at auction in a yard. I've never seen one. I
Me,
mean, I know what they look like, but
me neither. I cannot. Some resellers on YouTube, they will find it sometimes.
yeah, those people in California find everything. So
Yeah, because it's close to where the movies are. That's why they find
yeah,
it a lot. Yeah, that's actually
yeah,
understandable.
that and they have 70-degree weather year round. So
And it doesn't get bad. Yeah, some people can store certain things in
hmm
storage units outside even. It's not gonna go bad. But here in Cleveland, if you put something like that in a storage unit outside,
yep,
you better not buy it. It's
yep.
not.
It's always better to buy a car from Arizona than Indiana because Indiana has salt, rain, and cold, and it tears up a car, makes it crumble to pieces, literally.
I know.
Arizona, they don't have that. Cars last forever.
And Florida also. Florida doesn't have this issue at all. Nothing gets rusted.
Florida has humidity just like us. The only thing is it doesn't smell like salt.
Yeah. And the roads are good. Nothing
Yeah.
is broken. No holes in the roads.
I don't know what the word "no holes in a pavement" mean. So I mean, there's a hole right out next to my driveway, and a hole right down there, and a hole.
Yeah, we got the same thing going on. It's
The
always
big orange barrels that are everywhere. I just call that the Indiana state flower. So
yeah, we got the same thing going on here in Cleveland all the time. When the winter is over, we got road repairs
yep,
that are like for until August.
yep,
Everything gets
yeah.
repaired. So many roads are messed up that they have to fix everything, entire city.
Well, now you know what there's to do in the Midwest. Repair the roads.
Man, that's the best business. I mean, if you're on road repairs,
Yeah, plenty of road construction work.
and
Yeah,
sometimes they're so slow, they will start the road repair like in say April, and it ends in August. Not fix
yeah.
anything until September. They're gonna keep doing it, keep doing it. Yeah, but it's kind of cool. That's why, like I said, the thing is like with media, it's kind of interesting market right now. The good thing I finally found a guy who can find like who can actually sells me the boxes of media almost every 2 weeks. So like I mean I don't even need to actually find it at garage sales anymore.
That's a good source to have. I'd hang on to that for sure.
Yeah, he got bunch of vinyls which I actually have to clean. Some
Buy that man dinner. If he's hot and thirsty, buy him a drink.
no, I actually hook him up all the time. Actually, he's a good dude. I mean, he actually also at the same time, since I only actually I told them I'm gonna buy only sealed ones, but some of the stuff I started to look up and see if there are some used ones that are not bad because you can find some used ones that are good. because he would go to declutter and he will actually look up on declutters the stuff that I don't want to buy, and he will just sell it to declutter, So and they will pay him for per DVD.
Yeah, I know about Declutter. I've known about Declutter for a long time. They've been around for a long time, but I've never used their service.
It's
If
actually
I was gonna sell things, I've tried Discogs once. I had some cassette tapes, and yeah, I'm not happy with going Discogs. eBay's better. I get better prices off of eBay. So.
yeah, declutter actually is not bad if you actually buy a large quantity of like DVDs, CDs, Blu-rays, and then you go on their website. You can put in. It's very simple. They actually right away you can get like large quantity of stuff that you can sell to them, and they
Hmm.
pay you right away. So basically, people who actually go to um, garage sales and buy a lot of media that probably use declutter to actually sell it to them right away.
Hmm. Well,
So with a bundle of stuff. Yeah, actually, that's nice, Christopher.
there he is.
Yeah, I got frozen up a little bit. My thunderstorm internet.
Yeah, well, it
internet
was
internet made from tornadoes.
there.
Sponsored
There.
my internet today, guys, is sponsored by thunderstorms and tornadoes. The
And
VHS that are still not worth much. Yeah, VHS are good. I mean, the thing about it is this stuff is always easy to list. That's the easiest stuff to list out of all the, I think, in my opinion, of the products, except probably figurines. I mean, Funko Pops. Funko Pops media is like the easiest thing to list. You don't need to do much. I sometimes, if I get like, say, for example, if I buy from my media guy, if I buy like 20 DVDs or more, I will just list them all of them like in probably less, maybe less than 2 hours. It's already done because like they're so easy to list. You don't have to spend much time on listing them, and don't take much time to ship. So that's one of the easiest things. Media. That's why people like it.
yeah, it is easy.
Today, for example, some people tell me, what are you doing? Media, those DVDs are all over the place and stuff like that. They sell for cheap on eBay. Even and today I sold like a set of like some kind of weird English TV series, like one of their seasons 10 or something, for $22. It has like 4 discs, and I paid $1 for it. That's why, with media, you can buy it for $1 and sell it for 20 something or even more. Some of it, yeah, I understand. Some of it sells for five. But
Isn't the fee on eBay a little bit more when you sell the DVDs and CDs? Isn't it like 12,
I think it's 14%.
14?
Uh, maybe. I don't remember specific. I have to check again.
Yeah, I don't
Because
remember either.
because 12 point, they got 13, almost 13%. Originally, it was close to maybe 13.5, but it's around 14. But it's like I don't think it went up. I'm not sure.
I just know it was more than whatever standard is. Honestly, I just think 15%, and that's what everything is across the board for eBay. It's just easier to figure out in my head.
Yeah, but they actually kind of know that market. eBay is also not that, I mean, stupid. They're smart. So they know that media sellers who sell media, there are a lot of media sellers. I think
Hmm.
media is probably number one, probably in selling category from sellers on eBay. I mean, there are like probably, I cannot even count. You cannot count how many sellers on eBay sell media. I mean, there are a bunch, and
A bold statement.
I mean, it's very competitive. I mean, media is very competitive. That's understandable. People will list media because the easiest thing to list, in my opinion, very easy and very fast. It depends on how they want to list it. If they want to lot it up, if they want to sell it separately. So I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Cassette tapes, also same thing. Cassette tapes, CDs. I mean, that kind of stuff. And you buy it cheap. I mean, people at garage sales all the time when I go, that's the cheapest thing you're gonna find is DVDs. I mean, that's nothing else will be that cheap, except maybe some stickers. So that's basically why. Like I bought, let me show you. I went to garage sale a couple of weeks ago, bought like a whole box of those Xbox wireless controllers,
Hmm.
and they didn't have batteries. Actually, they did have batteries separately, but most of those batteries were dead. So I kind of pay. I didn't pay much. I paid $10, and I bought like six controllers and cables, and it had like Xbox battery charger. So like it was not a bad purchase. I actually decided to load up controllers in one lot because they're untested. I couldn't test them properly, so I decided to lot them up and sell them as is, and they will sell. I mean, I know that for sure. So that's something. If you find them really cheap, I mean, I lot them up. You know, games, of course, is different. Games depends. Not all video games are even, gonna be priced at the point where you wanna buy them at the garage sale. You know,
I I actually come across video games quite a bit, and I can buy them in bulk from the auctions because most of the people that attend the auctions they don't want the video games. So but I don't buy them either. I mean, I know I've seen the gold and the yellow, the Pokemon things, and I know they're worth money. The sapphire, yeah. So I'm thinking, well, that's probably 30, $40, and I could have picked up a whole bunch of them for like five, but I don't because I'm also one of those people that
video
I,
games.
I've sold stuff long enough now that I'm gonna sell what I want to sell and not just anything that makes money.
No,
So
I know what you're talking about. Me the same way. I know that even those Pokemon games, some of them are not real. Some of them are faked.
hmm,
That you cannot specifically. I know how to tell because I watched certain videos where people show it.
hmm
But a lot of them that you can find, you have to make sure. I mean, especially if you're gonna pay up and then you realize they're fake, then you cannot sell them anymore. So basically, you're gonna be left without money because if you sell them and someone is knowledgeable and they can tell if they're fake or not, you're gonna get it returned
yep,
right away, and then you may have negative feedback also because people who have knowledge in games, they know specifically those cartridges, those NES, SNES, Sega. If you find them somewhere and you think you found a gold mine, and then turns out to be fake, that's something you don't know about or you're not researched it enough. That's why it's sometimes kind of tricky, and it's hard to.
I've I've actually found a fake game before. It sells for a lot of money, of course. It's called Earthbound, and you can look it up. It's not cheap, but you're supposed to take them apart. But they sell better if they're not taken apart. But you have to take them apart to make sure it's. Okay. I'm not selling this shit anymore. I don't care if it sells for 200 or 300 bucks. I'm not doing it. So
Angela, welcome to Big Bro Life. Yes, the
perfectly
games.
blessed.
I actually made with my, like, once again, one time I found Pokemon game which was for either Game Boy or Nintendo DS. I don't remember what it was for. but I sold it, and I didn't test it properly. I didn't test it to make sure it saves, because some of them have batteries inside. So if the battery is dead, the game won't save. So I didn't disclose it because I didn't test it. So when the buyer got it, they opened the return and they said that the game doesn't save, that battery is dead. And in order for you to actually replace the batteries in them, you have to unsolder it, because you have to use soldering gun. You have to unsolder the battery compartment with a battery and buy a new battery on eBay somewhere and solder it back. So I kind of, the buyer actually returned it. Thankfully, they didn't leave negative feedback. They just returned it, and I kind of said that I'm sorry. I didn't check if it was saving or not, but it was my fault. So I kind of had to own up my fault, man, because you have to test those games that you buy that have batteries. You have to make sure they save. If they don't save, you have to disclose that the progress won't be saved because the battery is dead. It's
Hey,
still,
Roman,
yeah,
you don't have to test this. You can just sell maps.
that
That's where I'm at.
that is true, big bro. That's why guys, sell maps, guys. Here you go.
Yeah,
If you guys have maps, you don't have to test. They don't have any batteries inside.
I sell a lot of playing cards too. So
Oh, playing cards are good. Some of them are really good. Some sell for good money because some of them you have to research. But you're more familiar with ephemera already for many years, so you can actually, especially when you go to your auctions, you are familiar. You're actually in a good type of field where you like to buy this kind of stuff with
yeah,
vintage ephemera, which I actually like. Also, I like it. I have to gain more knowledge in it, and I will actually be selling more of it
it
because
it
I like.
it ships cheap. People like cheap shipping, and it's takes up no room. I mean, you got like 100 listings in a stack that's like a foot tall. I mean, there
Yeah,
you
like
go.
I got. I'll show you guys. Whoever is in our life right now, I got the whole box of postcards couple
Yeah, like
months ago. Check
decks
this
of
out.
cards.
This is a vintage postcard which is posted, which basically means it's not new. It's been posted, but it's pretty
It,
cool. Look,
people that collect postcards, they don't care about the writing. Most of them.
yeah, they don't actually. It's
It's
actually
about the
sometimes
front.
brings more value. And see, I got like different scene, like
Have
two
you
different.
learned about the different ones, like the difference between like these are linen cards, and then there's chrome cards. The linens and the chromes are what's selling the most right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of right now. I'm in the process of trying because I do already kind of understand the difference between linen, like this one right here, I think is a linen card.
Yep, they probably with the border. That's a good
Yeah,
way to tell. It's not always the best way to tell. You can tell by feel.
yeah, by feel I can tell it's probably linen, but this one is chrome right here.
Chrome are the shiny ones. Yeah,
Yeah, so some different subjects. This is from Mission San Antonio de Padua. Some
I've
kind
got
of,
one. I've got one here that doesn't have the center line down the back, and that's how you date some of them is that center line down the back. If it doesn't have one, then it's made before 1909, I think.
yeah, yeah, the center line. Yeah, like this one is not. This is not older one. I mean, it may be a little bit older, but it's not like from before certain year. I'm not sure, but I actually watched Adam, who Pittsburgh Picker. He actually sells postcards. I know
Yeah.
that he can tell already the difference specifically between certain. See, this one actually I can tell this is from the 80s because this says it's been posted from 1983.
Well, that's how to. It's not always the best way to date them, but yeah,
Yeah, so I can tell this one from the 80s.
yeah.
And this some kind of. Oh, look at that! I got some Disney ones. That's Mickey.
Yeah, see, some of those Disney ones, if they have the pictures of the buildings that aren't there anymore, like
19,
Epcot. No.
1978 when I was born.
Ooh, you're
So
a youngin'.
this is my age. Same age as me, guys. 45. Postcard is 45 years old. So this is Goofy and Mickey. Actually, kind of interesting. May list this one today. Kind of didn't look it up, but it's gonna be
Ice
one of those.
postcards.
Here's another one. That's kind of Redondo Beach, California, right here. You can see
Redondo.
Redondo Beach Pier.
Hmm.
So this is from also posted. This is from I cannot tell. It's hard to say which year on a stamp. I mean not stamp, but on that mark or whatever it is. Like they put
There,
out.
there's ways to tell how old the older ones, like all the ones I got, of course. But you, by the way the place stamp here is, that it's in different kinds of font. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
And you can tell how old it is by looking at that. Yeah, I've learned a lot, and this is all within the past few months. I've been watching this guy like Popeyes, or
yeah,
was another
Popeye
one,
postcard. Yeah,
TMI, or well, I've
and
been watching a lot of those guys, learning as much as I can because it's ephemera, and I'm going that way. I can always get my hands on
check this
postcards
out. This
too.
is from 1979. Los Angeles Zoo. Hippo. Also postmarked.
SMS
Yeah,
postcards.
he
That's the
got.
other one
Yeah,
I
he's
watched.
very good. His name is Mark.
Yeah,
Very good, actually. He's, I think, one of the best.
he's been
Um,
around for a long time.
yeah,
So
Mark is specifically specializing in selling postcards, and he knows a lot. I mean, if you guys want to research it, or but it's actually videos. That's why there is YouTube in terms of content, where people can look. I mean, check video, watch the video, and kind of learn something at least, about this kind of stuff from people who have already researched it and done it before. Like, look at this one. This is pretty cool. Some kind of ski slope resort, also postmarked.
yep.
So this is from like 59.
I've actually got some old ones here that aren't postmarked, but that's not going to make them sell any faster.
No, no, it's just it depends on the subject also, and that's why when you watch those videos with Mark, you can actually sometimes tell apart certain things.
You know, 1910,
Oh, this is a linen one for sure. Look,
1938.
that's pretty
This
cool.
one has this is a linen card that has no post on it. So
Some kind of linen card from St. Petersburg, Florida. 12
1917.
cars.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually postmarked. Let me check, guys, because this is actually interesting. This is 1948. Yeah, 1948 stamp. So this is from 1948.
Yep.
So see, not bad. An older one.
You see, look on the back. You see how it's written at an angle? That's because it was against the rules to write anything on the other side. It still is.
Oh,
So
really? Wow, that's interesting. That's why it's so low. Yeah, I didn't know
one
that.
side says address only, and one side says
Yeah, you're
put all
probably
your
gonna
writing.
see it as 1948 right there. St. Petersburg, Florida.
Freaking novel on that postcard there, buddy.
Yeah, so that's not bad. There's another one, linen one also from 1949, also from Florida.
I've got a whole stack of them. I instead of trying to, I'm just gonna throw them all out there and auction them off. That's where a lot of people source off at eBay. I mean, I got them all for free.
Yeah, man, that's I didn't pay much for this lot at all. I mean, like I got the whole box of it. I just kind of, those are all linen. Those are all from Florida from like 40s. Can tell.
I'm just thinking, if I make $1 off of them, people say, "Oh, that money you missed." I said, "What? I just made $1." I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, like
I don't I don't see things that way.
this is from
So
1952, some kind of cypress tree.
you just got to wonder if that same tree is still there.
Probably. If it
Yeah,
survives.
those are the things to sell. The things that aren't there anymore. See, like this will probably do good because there's an old Sears building here on the side and an
Jeff,
old
welcome, man.
Whirlwith. So yeah,
Big bro, I think Jeff needs to register again. Jeff,
yeah,
yeah, when Jeff gets to any life, he has to register with all the government agencies.
right.
Jeff, welcome, man. I hope you registered already because Jeff always registers late in the day. It was funny when the last time when Nate, when was it, Thursday? Yeah, this Thursday. Nate, Chuck, and Paul Philip Flipper, they were live, and
Yeah, I
then
know.
Nate then left, and Chuck and Paul were only ones doing it, doing the live, and then suddenly their live just went off the air, and
And then
I made a joke about someone probably didn't register,
yeah, yeah,
and
we can blame Jeff on not having electricity for like a whole day. But yeah,
yeah, and then Jeff brought up a comment saying that's why you need to freaking register.
yeah, I saw that. I was wondering how long you guys are going to stay on live because since I'm hosting this show, if I get kicked off the internet, y- you're on limited time. So
Well, those particular ones will sell. Greetings from Florida, the land of sunshine.
I've sold maps like that.
This is 1956. So this one for sure will sell by itself. I know that. And it's posted from 1956.
Yep.
So those, if you find those where it says greetings from like different states,
Hmm.
those will sell faster. I
Like I
know.
said, I've seen maps with that, and I've sold those pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, those will sell separately by themselves. I know. Those are the ones that I researched. I think that's one of the postcards. Postcards are interesting. I mean, it's kind of one of those ephemera fields categories, which is interesting.
Let, let me run this one by you. I just sold these. I think the final bid was like around $14, but it was 1936 through 1938, and it was just uh, letters, letters back and forth to somebody. That's it. That's all they were. And those big stack of correspondence sold for $14. That would have
Yeah,
been thrown away any other time.
for sure. This kind of stuff would have been thrown away after if you go to like estate sales, I think sometimes, and people don't buy this kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure they end up somewhere in the garbage. Probably. I don't think they get donated to any thrift stores.
I used to be one of those guys that would dig through the trash looking for the shit. I'm too old for that now. So
And also those what are they called? The photos that you put in the cabinet photos. Some of those cabinet photos, those
well,
are
I know
not
what you're
bad.
talking about. Yeah.
I have some still. The ones I actually sold. I remember I bought some from your auction one time. Some of those cabinet photos, I sold them in a lot to one buyer. He got it and also left me good feedback. And I actually recently got some cabinet postcards with family photos. I think, like, I don't know who those people are, but it doesn't matter. It's just kind of cool, black and white. Those old, very old photos that are kind of creepy in a way. It's one of those, every time I find cabinet photos from like black and white ones from like, I don't know, 40s, 30s, those are kind of photos where you think about any type of old movies that are creepy movies like horror movies.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know why, but it always brings the memories of some kind of movie that I watched. Jeff was
Yeah,
saying,
Juju.
"Don't register, but Juju." I think Jeff will not be surviving without registering. Every time he goes to someone's life. But it's cool today. We're having great time, guys. We're discussing ephemera. We're discussing we're discussing sales. How's everyone's sales today, guys? Did you guys sell? Jeff, did you sell anything today at your real job?
Let me guess. He's got 3 sales from eBay and about 7 on Amazon.
Amazon, I actually do also some media, and I put on some media on Amazon Merchant Fulfilled, which sells because books sometimes, because Amazon is right now becoming very strict with certain brands that you can list. If you don't ship it to their warehouse to be fulfilled by them, it's kind of more difficult to sell certain things, even ranked in a good ranking on Amazon, if you do it fulfilled by merchant. And but I just I don't sell that much on Amazon to ship to their warehouse, to do FBA because people didn't believe. That's true. they're always they're always those people are always serious in those cabinet photos, like older ones, very serious looking, like something always is not good. Christopher, it's okay, man. You know how eBay is. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes you will sell a bunch of things in a day. Next day, you may only sell one thing.
Well,
Sometimes,
this I I'm not worried. If I only make a total of 9 things, and I sold one thing this morning, but I've got less than 100 things up, so I think I'm doing pretty good. Now, if I get off my lazy ass and actually list and get it over 100, maybe I'd sell even more.
I know, man. That's why, like, sometimes even I would not have any sales during the morning or afternoon, and then in the evening I'll have like 7 sales right
Hmm.
away, like like nonstop. You know, just
Yep.
one with FBA. Oh, Jeff does fulfilled by Amazon. That's good. I actually did it a couple times before when I actually was doing Amazon more seriously. It depended on retail arbitrage, depended on what I would find to sell to, I mean, to send to Amazon. Um, it's just, I don't know. I'm actually ungated in a lot of brands since I've been already selling on Amazon for a while. I actually get ungated automatically right now in some brands that I was gated in. So it's basically it takes time, but eventually you get ungated. It's just a matter of how you want to run your business model. If you want to do more Amazon or like more eBay or other platforms,
Etsy.
Amazon itself is very big platform, and if you do Amazon
Yeah,
mostly,
it is.
I mean, it's actually really good money if you only do Amazon, and you can actually make decent money. If you want to do it with the FBA, it's like, and I know YouTubers that do that, specifically Amazon, retail arbitrage from like Amazon, not bean stores, which I go to, but they buy stuff from stores like Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, Walmart, and I mean, it's there's money in there for sure. It's 100%.
Yeah, I see a lot of the Walmart stuff, the retail arbitrage doing it that way. I'll do retail arbitrage for eBay, but I got to get a really good price to do it.
Amazon, if you are serious, because one of my friends, Amazon is boring but amazing. Yeah, I know, Jeff. That's true. Amazon is boring, but it will bring money, more money, because of ranking. And if you're buying Amazon stuff like itself, if it's brand new, especially, if you specifically sell something that you, I mean, get to sell on Amazon specifically, you're gonna sell it fast. I mean, there is no doubt. Amazon and eBay are completely on different universe. I mean, in terms of how Amazon is and how eBay is trying to be,
Mm-hmm.
which is never gonna happen. I don't think eBay will catch up to Amazon sales. There is no way.
It's a different market, though. I
Yeah.
mean, they're trying to sell the same market, but that's not going to happen.
No,
Now,
not even.
eBay and all the other platforms are trying to catch up to Whatnot after seeing
Yeah,
what
that's like
Whatnot does.
Whatnot is completely different structure, and for me, I don't have anything against people selling on Whatnot at all. I mean, if they find a lot of cheap stuff that they actually buy really cheap, it makes sense to put it on Whatnot auction and sell it fast. Because I mean, otherwise you're gonna be putting it on eBay. You paid like people. I mean, you wanna sell like, for example, something that's gonna sell on eBay for $5, but you're paying fees, you're paying shipping and stuff like that, which is similar where Whatnot comes in, but you're gonna sell it faster because you're gonna bring the audience if you have enough audience for Whatnot. I mean, not a lot of people have audience to do Whatnot because they don't
Right.
have a lot of following, so it's going to be more complicated. So you're going to have someone who has following on Whatnot to kind of help you out and bring certain following to your Whatnot auction, so you
Hmm.
can sell stuff. That's understandable. But like I said, that's one of the things to get rid of inventory fast. If you have certain following, if you don't have following, it's also possible, but you're not gonna sell it as much. You know, so it's basically,
It's like Amber and Mike. They'll go out and they'll pick up stuff for free and then flip them for $1 each on Whatnot, which sounds like a great business model, but I don't
yeah,
know.
there is no, I
What
mean,
what happens when those sources run up? Maybe then what? Then what you gonna do?
well, that's like I said, if you get like, well, like for me, for example, like I would go to Whatnot, see some shows where people sell plush, and I know that if you're gonna put plush on Whatnot, it's gonna sell faster. I mean, much faster than if you're gonna list it on eBay. It's
Yeah.
not even gonna be close because I know how long plush takes to sell on eBay. So if you find the whole box of plush at Goodwill Beans for cheap, or you go to garage sale find a big box of plush or some kind of action figures that are gonna be the whole box will cost you like, I don't know, $10. You can bring it to your Whatnot auction and sell everything on Whatnot auction fast instead of waiting months to sell it. See, Jeff did well on my plush Whatnot. You see, that's good. Jeff probably registered all his plush to Whatnot auction. But that's good, Jeff.
You
Congratulations, man. That's a good idea.
you did well compared to what? I mean, what are you basing your yeah.
I
Jeff,
think he
you
probably
posted your videos that you did well with the plush, but
I
compared
think
to what?
I think he may compare it to eBay, most likely, or Amazon even. I'm pretty sure
I
because
mean, they sell right now, you got a focused audience. This is what I'm selling, so you hope you're going to sell it right. That just makes sense that you're going to sell it. And if you sell it right now, I think that's a good sale. I mean, we're doing this so we can sell things and make
yeah, I
money.
know it makes sense because if you brings this kind of stuff, actually, you see, that's what happens. I wasn't subscribed to Jeff. Jeff, I'm
Yeah.
subscribed. I'm subscribed to you now. I didn't think Jeff had a channel.
Oh yeah, he does lives every once in a great while.
Jeff, sorry, man. I just subscribed to you. I didn't know. I was thinking for some reason Jeff didn't have a YouTube channel. I don't know why.
He'll
But
get more subs if he shows his parrot more often.
he got 153 subscribers. So
Or
Jeff,
Macaw
now
here.
you have 153. after I subbed. I actually have to check out his.
Catching up to me.
It was kind of sometimes I don't know why I kind of think sometimes certain people don't have channels for some reason. It's kind of in my head. So I'm subscribed to Jeff right now. Finally, eBay about 60% of the profit of a gun on eBay, but yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about also because I mean you would sell it faster for sure on whatnot. If you're gonna have audience to buy it, it's like with any sports cards. Like if you go to the store buy sports card packs and you wanna sell them on whatnot, they're probably gonna move faster instead of you putting it on eBay. I don't have much time for videos, but to have some. Yeah, Jeff, that's why I was kind of. I didn't know you had a channel. See, sometimes I always go look, like when I see someone in the live that I don't know, I will check if they have a channel and I will subscribe. But with Jeff, I was kind of didn't know that he would have a channel. I don't know why. You see, that's what happens, guys. Sometimes you're kind of surprised at the things. So Jeff, I didn't. The good thing, Jeff, I didn't need to register on to subscribe to your channel, which is a good thing. Jeff should put registration form
Yeah.
like with the name, where like address, driver license, and stuff like that. But that's kind of nice. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I can tell like I mean and see what people sell and whatnot. And like I said, that's kind of a business model, in my opinion. If you find something cheap that doesn't sell for much on eBay, there is a point to sell it on whatnot.
Yep.
But if you find something that's not cheap and you wanna get decent amount from it, then you will put it on eBay, or Mercari or Poshmark, whatever.
It just depends on. There's certain flushes that sell fast, so those are the things you need to learn about and put on eBay. It's
Yeah,
like
just
the
now,
wildlife ones, right? So
yeah, I just sold
those
it.
sell fast.
Yeah, just sold the DVD for $14 plus shipping. It was 3.99 shipping, so it's good. That's good, and I paid $1 for it. So see, media once again.
Yeah.
Little do know to lose the subscribe button. Exactly. I knew what will happen, Jeff. I know. Now, when I go off the air with Big Bro, I'll have to register to be subscribed to Jeff and pay $100 a month. But yeah, see, that's what happens. Just sold the DVD, guys. That's nice. Again,
Good.
once again, guys, the DVD, the total order total, guys, is $18.38. You paid $1 for this DVD. So you see, that you list it and it sells for like 14. See, it was a 14.39, and this guy sold again to international buyers through global shipping. So the buyer paid $22.81 for shipping a DVD to I don't know which country, but it is through global shipping. So he paid $14.39 for the DVD plus $22.81 for the shipping.
Man,
That is crazy.
I know. I can't believe people must have money to burn. That's all I gotta say. And thanks for the sale. But
Well, yes, that's why I have global shipping turned on, and already I had 3 sales. Just yesterday, 2 sales with the maps to through global shipping, and with this DVD, it's a third sale already through global shipping. This buyer is located at let's see which country. It's Switzerland. So this DVD sold to Switzerland.
uh, I
That's
sell
that.
I sell a lot of pens to Switzerland and Finland.
Let me see the maps. The maps. Let me see how much he paid. The maps um, are going to Canada. So someone in Canada bought the maps. So see, that's also through global shipping. But the buyer in Switzerland, guys, paid $22 for shipping to ship one DVD. He paid more in shipping than the actual DVD.
Yep, I
See,
believe it.
that's how crazy it is right now with global shipping. I think he actually really wanted the DVD, guys.
There's that. I got that Mexican buyer. Let's see if they come through. I actually have two Mexican buyers. Hmm.
Yeah, with Canada, I get a lot of global shipping sales. This guy's the one with the maps that bought the maps. He's in Toronto, Canada.
I have a lot of repeat buyers in Canada. They
He,
often complain about their post, and I don't blame them. Canada Post is horrible. It's expensive as hell.
yeah, that's actually true. I know Canada, tons of my FBM sales. See, he does fulfilled by merchant to
Yep.
Canada. That's not bad, Jeff. Um, that's actually I think every time there where I can find the media type of stuff like DVDs, CDs, even vinyls. I mean,
Ooh.
those things are good to put on Amazon, fulfilled by merchant for me because I don't ship it to warehouses. He's done it through FBA. Yeah, I had sales through FBM, Jeff, also on DVDs fulfilled by me, by merchant. So I mean, people don't mind. That's not as much. I can tell you guys, it's not as much as FBA. It's like completely different universe. People who actually buy using FBM, it has to be something that they cannot either find a good price with FBA or they cannot find this product with FBA. Then they will go and buy it from someone who does fulfilled by merchant
I
FBA.
don't. Yeah. Another. I don't get. I don't. I've got, like I said, I've got repeat buyers from Canada, so I work with them. I know what it's like. It depends on your bottom line, you know.
Yeah, that's why I told about maps. The guy who bought the original maps from me a couple of weeks ago, same exact buyer, repeat buyer.
Mm.
So he bought
I
more
take
maps.
care of those repeat buyers. Yeah.
He was happy, guys. That's why he bought two more sets, two more lots. So he was satisfied with his purchase. And you want repeat buyers. I mean, that's nice. I mean, I get repeat buyers with VHS. I have the same buyer buying VHS from me from Canada all the time. He bought like bunch of them from me already, and another one from here in Illinois, somewhere that I see all the time buying from me.
I've
So
got one lady in Quebec says anytime I get anything Fitz and Floyd, I'm supposed to contact her immediately before I list them. So
yeah,
she,
Jeff, I agree.
she just buys it all. I can put any price I want on there. She'll just buy it. So
Yeah, Jeff, I agree with that. Yeah, bargain shoppers. Yeah, because people like it easy with FBA. You click on one box and you buy it. You don't have to do much stuff anymore. With FBM, you have to click more stuff.
yeah,
Sometimes you have to click on photos, and the people don't like that. They like it easy. Got a lot of that's great, Christopher. I do too sometimes on the media, video games. Sometimes I have the same buyer actually that bought some video games from me. Who is actually in Anderson, Indiana. I don't know how far away is Anderson from Indianapolis, but
about
well,
an hour.
yeah. So same buyer from Anderson, Indiana, bought some video games from me. So
Yeah, about 40 minutes maybe.
yeah, so that's not bad. That's what I like. Repeat buyers.
Hmm.
See,
Yeah, I used to have a repeat buyer in the UAE, but they stopped sending mail there at one point. Now you can send mail there again. But
yeah, UAE is a rich country, United Arab Emirates.
I was selling all my 1980s GI Joe stuff to this one guy that was on uh, a base, United States base there. So
Oh wow, that's cool. But yeah, UAE, those types of Arab Emirates, the other countries around it, Qatar, those are rich countries. They got money from oil. And,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of money. They're like very rich countries there. Dubai. I mean, they do have money. I don't know. I didn't have anyone buying from UAE from me before, but I think someone bought some from me from Qatar before, so I remember that.
I don't think I've sold stuff to Nigeria. I've sold stuff to countries that surround Russia, and I've actually sold to China more than once, which always tickles me. You know, you're always finding this stuff made in China, and here I am selling to China. So,
Sometimes, yeah, I sell computer parts that are like related to older computers. Some of them are actually. I have one buyer from Japan that buy some parts from me. I already had them buy from me before, so I can see the name, and he's in Japan. So it like depends. Like some of that stuff people cannot find cheap in their countries, or find it at all. So they will go and buy it from United States. So that's kind of understandable. And recently, I actually sold G-Shock watch to Russia. Actually, it was Casio G-Shock for $70. Someone from Russia bought it through Delaware. Uh, it's a hub. It's not global shipping hub, but there is a hub in Delaware that ships internationally. I think
I'm,
I
I'm
think
surprised anything's going to Russia right now.
yeah, but apparently this hub in Delaware actually is only one.
Hate to see
so
what the insurance is.
so that person actually found that, but because I remember I shipped to that hub before, and there were no issues. They would ship it to Russia, some other former Soviet bloc countries. So there was no issues through Delaware hub. I don't know. Probably global shipping is too. It doesn't work with them. I'm pretty sure global shipping does.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but they find the way, big bro. They find the way to
I know
go
they do.
through other shop
Third party
airline.
shipping, yeah.
Shop
And
airline.
eBay is aware of it and they're okay with it
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because
that.
I've had discussions with eBay about it before. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. There is a Shop Airlines, some kind of company in California that I get buyers from all the time. The company is called Shop Airlines America, and they actually go through their hub instead
yep.
of global shipping also, and no
Mhm.
issues with them either. I sold so many things through them before, and they always leave
Hmm.
feedback.
There you go.
So yeah, something to think about. I hope guys our life was very interesting and educational today.
Yep. We're gonna have to call it quits here pretty soon. Um, Anybody in the chat, if you want to throw out your links, I'm pretty sure everybody's got a wrench by now. So,
Yeah, guys. Jeff, you can put your registration form
yeah.
in the comments. But guys, make sure to register and subscribe to Jeff.
Well,
Take
thanks for
care,
showing
everyone.
up, Journey. It's always appreciated. Garbage Monster, fashionably late as always.
That's nice. That's actually a nice avatar. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, he doesn't do his theme song anymore, but that's okay. Perfectly blessed. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, guys, thanks for stopping by today and showing support, even though our life was not that interesting. No, I'm kidding. Our lives are very interesting all the time, guys.
Garbage Monster released something on his Instagram where he bought a vintage female massage unit. Yeah, that's why I'm going to put that.
That's
So
actually a really good product.
the thing looked like this big around. I'm thinking, holy hell. That's
That's
bigger than
actually
me. I'm jealous. What the
that's
hell?
an, that's an interesting stuff. Very interesting. Something like that.
All right. Well, uh,
Okay,
thanks
guys.
for everybody sticking up and peace. Peace out, I guess.
See you later, guys. Bye. Take care, big bro.
See ya.